Good day and welcome back. So this is another unboxing for you. As you can see, it is the M3 Lee. This is a MiniArt 1/35th scale for the M3 Lee, and it's basically the reason I wanted it is I've been doing a lot of the I've done some of the World War II Soviet armor, and some of the more interesting ones. You know, instead of like the T-34. Some of the more different Soviet options, and this was one of the Lend-Lease options that the Soviet had earlier in the war, gotten from the U.S. and kind of want to do it. So this has got the Soviet markings on it, and that's kind of where I'm going. And the other cool thing is this has the interior to it. So it was on my want list and a gift from my lovely lady. So I'm sure there's other folks who've done an unboxing, but you know, as I always do, take a quick look around the box. Info in Ukrainian, Russian, and English. And if I recall correctly, MiniArt is Ukrainian. Different options or different painting camo schemes, different, some of the captured versions, etc. Like I said, I plan to do Russian just to have it go with the rest of mine. So I'll go ahead and we'll crack into this and let's see what we've got. All right, so I wanted this one, like I said, because I've been doing some of the Soviet armor from World War II, because I found it interesting. And like I said, I wanted to do some of the more different options that they had, you know, that other than just like the T-34. And the Lee is kind of cool. I kind of like the look of it. So as we crack into this, we are greeted by a big old bag of plastic. All in one box, or all in one bag, I mean, and pretty nice instruction booklet. So let's sort of reset here, put boxes on. Let's bring this down a bit so I can see what I'm looking at. All right, so this is it's a glossy book, at least from the outside, and get some pictures. So First Armored U.S., Canadian Army, Second Armored U.S. Fort Benning, Red Army, supposedly 192nd Tank Brigade. Yeah, it'll be fun. This is, like I said, this is kind of something I wanted to do to go with the T-34 and the KV-2 that I have up there. So, all right, so here we go. We have our sprue map. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Our transfer sheet, some photo etch, clear parts. Looks like we will have separate tracks. Looks like we don't have a tub. It looks like we build up our tub. That's going to be entertaining. Now remember, this does have an interior kit, so it's going to be a little more complex to build. So, which means we're going to be also putting things together from the ground up. It'll be entertaining. Take a look at it again at the instructions. Looks like you build the transmission up here, drivetrain. Yeah. Controls. Floor for your ammo, bin, more ammunition, a radiator. Maybe a radiator. Looks like a radiator. Or something. And, you know, I don't know what all these parts are. So, you know, I'll be figuring these things out as we go. It'll be interesting because, you know, to paint this as this goes together. I'm not really sure what's going to be visible or how. I kind of would like to have like hatches open and so forth so you can see what's in it. That would be kind of nice. So if I'm going to go through all this trouble just because, you know, it'll be fun to do. Now here's the interesting thing. Now I'd read something about like this front piece here, putting this one on. I think they have you put it on early. I'd actually read something that putting this piece on is, it doesn't align necessarily with the part, like as you put it on here. It's like all the way up. forget where it was. I think there's some alignment weirdness if I recall what I read. So I think the suggestion was get this far, put this on, then put that piece in. I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll find out when I go to do it. So this builds up, you know, essentially you're going ahead and you're putting the tub together. So there's not a lot of, you know, and I found this with the Mang 9A52, the Smirch. The more you have to put pieces together, the more you have to really watch your alignment. And this is, I'm kind of curious to see how well this all goes together. Here's your rotary engine. This is kind of neat. Looks like it's pretty well detailed. And then there's your engine bay. Wow, they really went to town. This is going to be quite the project. This is not just a simple tank. So yeah, you can have your doors here in the open or closed position. Again, if you're going to go ahead and build the interior, why not open everything up? So this should be kind of cool. Yep. And putting your side, you know, like the next piece of the hull, the side plate on, dropping the gun in after you've built all that up. I will have some research to do before I can do it. This will be another one of those not quick projects. You know, putting together things like the like the KV2 is pretty straightforward, right? And you know, it's pretty well the most complex part about it was doing the tracks. This is going to be a lot more entertaining or interesting, I guess. So kind of cool. Well, it does have some photo etch, but it doesn't have a lot. So all of these little handles and things are going to be things that are plastic, and that'll be kind of nice. They'll fit. Should be easy to put together. I don't want to say easy to put together. They should go. It shouldn't have to be fiddling with photo etch, which is nice. We'll see how well they're molded. We'll take a quick look at those when we get there. Looks like there's a guard here. That'll be photo etch. Yeah, like a guard will be photo etch, and that makes sense. Open position for the one hatch. That's the word I'm looking for. Viewport. There we go. Bogies. And then putting together your tracks. And it looks like your tracks are 1, 2. Yeah, so it looks like, you know, putting your tracks together are going to have like 4 parts per track or something like that. So that looks like fun. And then the inside of your upper turret with ammunition and gun. Yeah. And then you've got the hatch. So again, if you're going to do all this, you might as well put those hatches open. So yeah, and then our you drop the turret basket in. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, might as well open that. Might as well have that hatch open, this door open, these hatches open, that one open. As long as you know, open everything you can. If you're going to go through the effort of doing all that, you might as well, right? So your painting guide, German Army captured, Red Army. Oh, so you know, you had some painting guides at first, and these are captured. Here's another one for the Red Army, for Kursk 43. Pretty straightforward. And then, if you want tank crew from MiniArt, so here's a little bit of a advertisement. So these are kind of neat. I had that one. They were actually pretty nice. So, I have to look at those. So your tank crew, yeah, some of these look. I might have to look into some of those. All right, let's take a look at plastic. So we have our big bag, and let's go ahead and get into this guy. And there we go. This here is our photo etch. Going to take a look at it first. Kind of nice, and it's got film on both sides so things won't go flying around. So, so these are some nice parts. Not a lot to overdo it. It's not, looks like it's not just, hey, let's make photo etch because we can make photo etch. I've seen a couple of models, a couple of kits where manufacturers did that. Go ahead and track into the transfers real quick. Quick look at those. So we have periscopes, a couple of things that are, a couple of lights, a couple of good reasons for clear parts for having them. And then your transfer sheet, and you have some Russian markings. You have they feel to be well and registered. So nice. If you want to do capture German or Finnish, you've got those. Like I said, you have the slogan and so forth for the Soviet Army. I think that's the direction I'm going to go, just because so it can go with the rest of the ones I've been doing, and it will sit on the shelf accordingly. All right, and let's take a look at these. I'm going to need my spectacles because I'm old. And nice, there's like the detail on the inside of your non-slip plate, the nice detail on the gun. So these parts, right, these are really small, and your sprue gates look pretty good. There's flash, so flash on some of these parts, and you've got mold lines, right? You see that there. Although it looks like the way this, at least on this sprue, there's not a lot that are done in such a way where the mold line is relevant. So like this seat here, right? The seat's done. Your mold line is along the edge of the seam, so that's kind of nice. I'm not seeing ejector pin marks in places where they will be inconvenient, so that was kind of cool. So let's pull this out. So these are your tracks. Well, the horns for your tracks, and there's a bunch of them. You can, come on, there we go. You can see the detail on that. It's a lot of them. So that's going to be a nice challenge. And that was one of the challenges I kind of put off doing the KV for because of that, but nice rivet detail. Again, not seeing sink marks or ejector pin marks. Some nice cast detail there on those. Nice cast detail here on this. And you have interior and exterior detail on the parts where you should. And like these here, right? These look like fenders. And they're thin enough, right? And they look... So they look like they're sort of bent in, and I think that's appropriate, I guess. Forget what that's... There's the word I want, but they go here. The plate... It's this piece. That piece right there. Oh, cool. Actually has a seam drawn in, so those are the parts, which, duh, makes sense. Because those are the flanges that bolt that piece together. So these would be the flanges that bolt that together. Neat. And you see the cast detail. Like, a lot of that cast detail is really nice. It looks really good. Cool. That's that one. And yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of flash on these. Like I said, I saw flash on the one, your gun detail, non-slip detail for your floor, ammunition, some very fine, very thin, appropriately detailed, a little bit of flash there. But again, there's a sink mark or a ejector pin mark in there. But again, these are not in places where I think you're just not going to see them there. So nice engineering. Unlike some other kits I could mention, we won't We won't say the T word out loud. I want to talk about tangerines. All right, so these look like wheel parts. A little bit of flash on that, but a little bit of flash on these small parts too. But and again, this this kind of kit is not meant to be a quick build. You know, it's kind of complicated. That's what you're going to get, right? And so you spend some time doing some cleanup, wiring. What I don't see, and the nice thing about this is I do not see ejector pin marks. I do not see the things that will make things overly difficult for you. So E, D, a couple of those, D, tools. It's a really, really, really tiny piece of something, and it looks like it's actually item number 5, so that's actually something. That's cool. All right, so okay, kind of cool. It's interestingly packed, so they've got like 2 big sheets on the bottom, all these little ones, and then 2 big, like the one big sprue on the top, and then it's all bagged up. Again, more very fine detail here. Getting this off without breaking it is going to be interesting. So I've always, you know, everything I've seen is like when you go and snip, things just get busticated. Shells, some cleanup inside on them. Guns, controls. Again, some very well molded, nice and clean. That detail there, that's pretty cool. Looking good. These are kind of crappy, but that's just a little bit of cleanup. Fortunately, again, it's not in places where it matters, so that's good. Put these guys down here, put this down here, pull some more up. A bunch of wheel parts. So there's your sprocket. That one has, again, some flash on those, but that can be cleaned up. One of your wheel sprues, nice. Pull these out. And there's one of your turrets. Again, some really nice cast detail. Inside and outside details on these hatch covers. And again, no ejector pin marks on the hatch covers. So, you know, so many times I've seen some manufacturers have pieces that, like hatches, where you have inside detail and outside detail, but you got these horrendous ejector pin marks on them. Nice. Very nice. I'm very impressed with the engineering in this kit. Really nice. Your upper turret's a very nice cast detail, and it even has the serial numbers on it. That's kind of cool. I could do the research to see if that actually is the correct one. Do I care? Not really. Not that much. I think it's cool that it's there. I think it's cool the detail's there. I'm not going to be so anal about that particular. Is that the right number? I'm not that much of a history buff. Okay, let's set these guys aside. Roll these up. So this is like your track sprue. So all those little things that we saw before, you take these 2 tracks, you put those things there, and then you put the other ones on top of them. And then these make them plastic workable tracks. It looks like there's no flash, so that should actually work. Very nice. I'm impressed. Looks like fun. And I actually mean that, because I found that sort of cathartic, zen, just sitting down making tracks. It was repetitious, but you know, it doesn't look like there's a ton of cleanup. You just need to make sure you snip them off cleanly. These parts look good too. All right, and some more detail pieces here. Another plate with number, interior detail, more track pieces. There are more track pieces. So again, I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to look at each one of those screws because that's kind of silly. All right, and here we go. So here are your controls, wires, and engine parts. It looks like. There's your rotary engine. So this is all. Interestingly, this is in plastic, not photo etch. It's kind of cool. I like that. That looks good. Nice. That should be fun to put together. That should be fun. And these are our main hull pieces. And these are the kind of pieces where I would look and go, hey, we're going to see ejector pin marks in unpleasant places. So there's a mark there. But I think that's for actually a piece because that's on the outside. No, that's the inside. This is the inside. Very nicely done. So that, and there's my other sprue. I knew there was two of these. Was the other sprocket piece. So that is the MiniArt M3 Lee. Let's go ahead and put this one. Okay, there we go. The M3 Lee early. And with the interior kit. For what it is, it looks pretty impressive. Looking forward to actually putting it together. We'll see what we end up with. That build series will be coming eventually, and hopefully it'll be entertaining for those to watch and, you know, follow along, watch me go ahead and make mistakes and learn things about it. But if you're interested in this kit, kind of curious about what's in the box, there you go. That's what I saw as I opened it up. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Happy modeling.